I'm Peter Parsons, your Lewisboro Town Supervisor, and I'm here this morning to chat with Charles George, the owner of the Bedford Sportsman, who is now ensconced in what you may well know as the Cross River Bait and Tackle Store. And basically, I want to introduce you to what is, in my mind, one of the gems of Lewisboro. Charles, I first visited your store over in Bedford Hills. What caused you to come to Cross River?
We grew up in Pound Ridge and in Cross River, South Salem area. My partner and I both went to John Jay High School, so we feel this is more of a homecoming for us. We grew up in this store when we were young, riding our bicycles on a very slow 35 back then. And we grew up with an older gentleman here named Zeke Hunter, who ran the Sportsman Shack. And during my years in Bedford Hills, we were always looking to expand our business, and always had an appeal towards South Salem, being it's more of a homecoming for us.
You moved in here, I seem to remember, in November 13.
Yes.
You've obviously made some changes. Why?
We made the place a lot more accommodating for like the modern day customer. We utilized every possible inch we could in here to bring in some more inventory, covering all aspects of fishing, whether it's fly fishing, saltwater fishing, right to freshwater fishing. And we put some lights in the place, put some heat, and really tried to make it more accommodating for people to come in and out of this location.
You're trying to attract who to the store? Almost everybody,
we're
right?
Trying to attract we everyone. We would like a lot of people to know that we don't just carry local fishing equipment and expertise and know-how. We cover everything. Saltwater, especially in fly fishing, we do a tremendous amount of instruction on that level, and on general fishing tackle as well.
Fly fishermen tend to be fanatical.
Very much.
They're half crazed, my friends who are into this. They will travel many miles to find the perfect river.
Exactly. Yep.
But you also do a lot of saltwater here, right?
Yep. We carry a lot of saltwater tackle, and we do a lot of saltwater fishing ourselves, whether it's with a fly rod or with a regular fishing tackle. We outfit a lot of people with boats in this area. That carry boats in Norwalk or Greenwich or other locations. And we have a very large following from our previous location in Bedford Hills.
And finally, of course, you're right on a reservoir here. And I know you personally have taken Ian, my grandson, both out here in Cross River and out on Byram Lake.
Yes.
And with very considerable success for my grandson, at least.
He has a lot of good luck.
And now that's quite a big part of your business, not my grandson and me, but I mean, in general, guiding people, right?
Yeah, doing mostly what it comes down to is instruction. It really is people just introducing them to the outdoors, introducing them to fishing, showing them the reservoirs around here, or some have a lot of private lake as well. We'll go to that location. And exposing them on how to do some of this stuff. A lot of people might not have grown up learning how to fish, so we will start from any age level to cover all of that.
And finally, you also, I seem to remember, take people out with augers onto the lake, or or don't you actually do that yourself?
We do some of that with this past winter, which was very long, as most of you know, but it was very good for us. We like ice fishing, and ice fishing brings on a whole nother customer. I've always said I think more people ice fish than go fishing during the fishing season. There's a lot of culture in ice fishing, so you get a vast grouping of people from different areas. They come from all over.
In Bedford, when I visited you in Bedford Hills, the first time I came into your store, it was in December. And the place was transformed into a holiday store. Are you going to do that again here?
Definitely, yeah. We were always known in Bedford Hills to put on a little bit of holiday spirit, and we bring in inventory for that. Whether it's some clothing, gloves, fleece, specialized holiday items. A lot of it geared towards the angler. We also have a lot of traveling angler with doing a lot of fly fishing. Fly fishermen, as you said, we're very fanatic, and we tend to fish all 12 months out of the year. We move around the globe. Bahamas, Florida in the winter months, South America during the winter months as well.
Do you guide people down to?
We run trips down there.
Okay.
Yeah, we run several trips a year. We work with a couple outfitters worldwide to schedule trips. A lot of times people come in and consult with us quite a bit on a location that they might be going to, because it's a pretty good chance that we know someone in that area who's guiding, runs a boat in different locations.
Yeah, I used to have a boss who was kind of interested in fly fishing and is well known in this town by the name of Gossett, the father of Tom.
Sure.
And he used to go off to New Zealand to fly fish, to northern Russia.
The Pinoy. I knew Milt very well. I spent
places.
some time with fishing with Milt. Yes.
And those must have been quite some trips, I suspect.
They're incredible trips, and they're incredible stories. So
Yes.
we lived through a lot of our customers' angling experiences. Milt was a very special person. I was a very young man when I was in Bedford Hills with him, and I used to fish with him quite a bit locally. And I actually go to his house, and he had a very well-stocked
Very
pond.
well stocked
Yes.
trout pond. You couldn't miss
They
trout
were very
pond.
hungry there, those fish.
It was just that and the bottle of Jack Daniels went down very well
Very
in
well
an
at the end
evening.
of the day. Yep.
You've maintained the tradition of selling bait here, right?
Yes, we have. This place was always a bait shop, and we've continued that. We've made improvements on that. We've improved the water quality, the air quality for the fish, and we've really bumped that up quite a bit. That's a large part of our business, very early in the morning,
Okay.
especially on the weekends.
Oh, that's why you open at, what is it, 5 a.m.?
5 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 6 a.m. during the week.
So that especially so I can buy my live bait here if I feel so inclined.
To go that early.
Okay. Tell me, what are your favorite fishing spots around here? I know there are different fishing spots for different types
For different
of
things, yeah. I definitely have a heart for fly fishing.
Yes.
Especially in the spring months, which would be like April, May through June. Our location, we're very fortunate. There's many reservoirs between here and, say, Brewster, New York, and they have streams that come out of the bottom of them, so it's ice cold water, and they're called tailwaters. And those tailwaters are full of some browns and some rainbow trout, and targeting them with the fly rod is always very fun, and it's difficult, but that's what makes it so much fun. Once I kind of wear out of spring there a little bit, I like to jump onto the local reservoir scene here, which the store is located on Cross River, which I have a boat. And I like to go after the largemouth bass and the smallmouth bass, like I did with your grandson, right? And your grandson who catches all the fish.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good thing he throws them back,
Yes,
because otherwise
Yeah.
he'd deplete the lake. If you were talking to somebody who was intrigued by the idea of fishing, but knew absolutely nothing about it, are you in a position to really help them?
Yes, we are, yeah. We offer a lot of, like I said, instruction. And it could be as basic as tying a knot to tie the hook on, to baiting the hook. Keeping it as simple as it can to maybe a little bit more complex. So we have people coming in here with maybe little children and saying, they're really interested in fishing. No one in our family has done this. The parents say, I've never done this. I don't know how to do this. How can you help us out? And we will say, listen, we can do a lesson for as long as you want, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever. And encourage the parent to come along if the parent doesn't know it themselves, because they're the ones that will be baiting the hook, tying it on for some of the younger ones,
and taking the fish off the hook.
That comes up quite a bit.
That is always.
And we go over that. We go over safety heavily with all ages about it, because you are dealing with hooks and sharp objects, and you don't want to be going to, Mount Kisco Medical Group because you have a hook stuck somewhere that shouldn't be. But we cover a lot of safety with them, a lot of how to get the knot, how to tie the knots, how to get the tangles out, how to really deal with it on their own.
Okay. Anything else I should know?
We carry a vast range of inventory, whether it's fly or spin. I carry brands in the fly fishing market that are very strong. I carry Orvis, I carry Sage, Sims, all American-based companies. St. Croix, another American-based fishing company, and we carry waders to wade into the water. All the apparel for it. We carry a lot of like sun protection clothing. I carry a range of shorts as well.
Charles, I gather you got a hot new item here.
We sure do. Upon coming over here to Cross River, we had done very well with our apparel and our branding in Bedford Hills, and we had just gotten a new run of hats with the new Cross River location on it. And recently I put this up on our Facebook page and got such an overwhelming response that I was mailing this hat out pretty much all around the world to customers that had moved out of this area and had seen it on the page and were very interested in it. And it's been a hot item, and we've got several of them in several colors.
They look good.
Thank you.
I suspect my grandson will be in one of those fairly soon. I noticed that you've got a whole room full of stuff next to us. Can you talk to me about some of the flies and things you got in there?
Sure. All flies are hand-tied. There's no machine out there that ties them. And a majority of our flies are actually tied in America. And I will gladly show you the vast range of them and of arts and crafts.
Because this is a sort of, how many people still actually make their own flies?
Quite a bit.
Or is that fairly rare?
It's 50-50. People get into it for a little while, and then it might become too time-consuming, a little difficult, so they do just purchase them.
Because I've got a friend in England who's passionate about fly fishing in Scotland, but is also passionate about classical music. So he makes his own flies while he's listening to classical music.
It would be very, yes, I'm sorry, it'd be very therapeutic.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun. It's a way to pass the winter months. Your friend in Scotland is actually probably tying flies for Atlantic salmon.
Yes. I'm convinced that you are going to have a first-class business in this location. You've got all my best wishes and the best wishes of the town. And now I gather you're going to go outside and show us how to cast with a fly.
I am, and I'm going to show you how to cast.
No.
Fly
Thank you for watching. And if you're at all interested, I would really encourage you to contact Charles George at either his website, which is Bedford Sportsman at AOL.com, or give him a call at 666-8091, that's 666-8091, or maybe far simpler and easier, just drop in on his store in Cross River on Route 35. You can't miss it. Thank you.
Here we are at the Ward Pound Ridge Reservation up at Kimberly Bridge, a location that I use heavily in the spring to teach people how to fly cast and how to fly fish. The two casts that we're going to do today, one's called the roll cast, which I'll demonstrate first. Well, I raise the rod straight up in the air, off to my side, and then I just push my arm forward. Never once did this fly ever go into the trees behind us. I bring it off to my side like this, and then I push it forward. And I gently watch it drift down the stream. It's a very effective tool in fishing moving water in crowded streams. And go to here, and then I just push my arm forward. In fly casting, it's all about timing. Has nothing to do about brute force. Here, and then forward. The next cast I'm going to demonstrate is called the forward cast. It's something that most people are familiar with from watching TV and the movies. The river runs through it. On this type of cast, I'm going to lower the rod tip to the water, and I'm going to pick the line off the water and then go forward. We do this cast a lot when we are throwing to a target or to a fishy area. We obviously need room behind us, no trees or anything for it to stick to. When we are fly fishing, trout lay tight to the bottom in the slower current caused by the rocks on the bottom of the stream. That's the forward cast. I aggressively pick it up off the water. I abruptly stop the rod at about 1 o'clock, allowing the line to straighten out behind me before I go forward. I don't want it to hit the ground behind me, so timing is everything. Always start with the rod tip down, thumb up on the cork, reel forward. I get used to holding some fly line in the left hand and let it go. And then I always go back to my favorite, which is called the roll cast. And here we go. We got a taker for today's program. This might be what we call a Westchester County bonefish. This is a carp species that took the dry fly. Couldn't ask for this in a million years. Come on. It's a big one too. This is a carp species, sometimes known as a fall fish. Not a spotty trout, but he'll put a smile on anyone's face. Then we'll release him. All right, Gotti, take care. I hope all this was very informative and instructive to you. Thank you for watching the program. If for any further instruction or questions, please contact us on our website, bedfordsportsman.com. Our phone numbers, 763-6083, or on our Facebook page, The Bedford Sportsman. Thank you.
You're watching Lewisboro Community Television, Channel 20.